good. Hey, everybody. We are live. Everything look good on your end, Darcy? Good? Thumbs up? All right, let me know if how we doing on that other end. Hey, everybody. Jenny Fennick here. Excited to have you. I did have a headband on and then it came off. Trying to rock a headband and a headset can be kind of tricky, but sometimes we'll try anyway. Welcome to today's webinar for new and aspiring coaches. On that other end. Hey, everybody. Jenny Fennick here. Excited to have you. I did have a headband on. And good? Okay. Thumbs up. Is that what that means? I just see thumbs up. Okay, cool. All right, I heard a little playback there for a second. I think it was Darcy like unmuting herself, but we're good to go. We're good to go, kids. Today, we're going to talk about how to structure your coaching sessions and packages to get the best results for your clients and grow your business. I'm very excited to be with you. I've got my system opened up over here. If you're live with me right now, you can type in comments and questions in our chat feature below. If you're having any issues like seeing the video or any of that, post something in that chat and Darcy, who's here, will help you. Her handle in the chat, her little name in the chat is Your Savvy VA. Okay, so she can help you. You should be able to see and hear me right now. If not, just you're not hearing me, so you won't hear what I have to say. But if you're having any issues throughout the webinar, just comment below and Darcy can help you. And if you're here live, just say hello. Say like, what's up in the chat feature. Just share your name. Say where you're connecting in from so we can all go on this journey together as coaches, all right? I really want to be able to dive in and provide huge value for you today on a topic that I know is mission critical for you. It really is, because in order for you to grow as a coach and a leader, you have to know how to package up the transformation that you provide. And that's really what coaching is. It's transformation. You're helping your client go from where they are now to where they desire to be, whether that be within their life, a relationship, their health, their business, whatevs. Like coaching can help clients with so many different areas of their life, and you are essentially that space holder for them. Okay, so what we're going to do today is go into some specific examples of how you can shape your sessions, shape your packages, and help the people you came here to help while you simultaneously grow your business. Yeah, because what's the point of packaging things up and doing this nice little deal when it's not impactful for your business? You're creating something that's not sustainable. What I'm interested in doing is helping you create something that's sustainable, that will get you through this year of your business and the next year of your business and the next year of your business, because entrepreneurship is, it's an intense road. And if you are a coach, not only are you a coach, but you're also an entrepreneur and you're a marketer, and you have to be willing to wear all of those hats. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So again, welcome everybody. I'm Jenny Fennig. I am a coach. I train women to become coaches. I'm an author. I have a podcast. You may have listened to the podcast. If not, I invite you to go and do so. It's called Get Gutsy. You can find it on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, or you can go to my website, jennyfennig.com, and get inspired. That's what I wanted to do with that podcast, was create something that would constantly be available to you, consistently be available to you, that would inspire you to go out and help the people you came here to help. I mean, that's really what coaching is all about. Are you ready to help the people you came here to help? All right. So I started my business, to kind of give you a quick insight in me. I started this road as a coach in 2008, and it's been a wild ride for sure. lots of twists and turns. I started out doing like straight up private coaching, like that was really all I knew to do, and then quickly moved into creating group programs, courses, experiences, retreats, masterminds. Eventually wrote the book, launched the podcast, courses. I created a number of courses. And then last year, I created my own coach certification school. So it's been quite a ride. In addition to running the business, I have 3 kids. So I have to be super efficient with what I do with my time, as do you. Your time is your most valuable asset. And I thank you for spending your time with me right now, whether you're watching live or you are watching this recording. All right, so I want to ensure that we cover off on some pretty powerful concepts for you, because there's no reason why you can't do this thing as a coach. There's a lot of people who are attempting to do it, and a smaller percentage of those people are actually succeeding at it. They will continue being able to do it and support themselves in the world. And my hope for you is that you can be in that small group of those who are doing it, who are making it. So here's a sense of our flow and vibe today. This is all for you. I invite you to be here now and get excited that you are joining forces with women all over the world, either watching live or watching this recording. We have hundreds of women who have said, yes, I want to be in the next generation of change makers and coaches. I want to do this thing. I am ready to say yes. And that's very exciting because you're not alone. Okay. So my style, I like to just be able to connect with you, provide guided introspection, and take you on this journey so you can see what is possible for you. Got it? All right. Good. Very, very good. So let's begin together by bringing it inward. A core piece of the way that I coach and teach, and then teach my people to coach, is to show you the power of going inward and centering and meditation. Okay. This is a game changer. And if you're not really utilizing it in your life, then I invite you to experience it right now and then bring it more into your life as you help more people. You know, the world is pretty frenetic right now, and the world is filled with, a lot of people have anxiety and doubt and fear and overwhelm. I get it too. I'm not immune to this by any stretch, and I have my kind of go-tos so I can handle this. Okay. What I think is a real game changer when you are coaching and teaching is that you have this skill and this tool in your wheelhouse to bring your clients into a place of inner peace and quiet, so they can hear what their soul is saying to them. They can hear how they're being called to move and evolve. You got it? So many coaches don't do this, and I invite you to do it, to do it for yourself, number one, and then have the courage and the commitment to offer this up to your clients. Got it? Okay, so let's do it right now together. I invite you to close your eyes as long as you're in a safe place, and you can close your eyes without getting hurt. Go ahead and close your eyes and come into a place of stillness. Just focusing on that breath, going in, coming out, going in, going out, going in, going out, going in, going out. Focus on that breath, just bringing your energy and awareness to that place of stillness, of peace, of presence, of you knowing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Bring your energy and awareness to that place of faith. Or even though you go through those moments of feeling inspired and then feeling lost, and then feeling inspired and then feeling lost, and then feeling inspired and then feeling lost, you can make that choice to come back to the inside, back to that quiet place inside, in your heart, in your spirit, where all is well, all is safe, where you know you are being guided. I invite you to tap into that place right now for yourself. You're being guided, you're being led, you're dropping in. The path of becoming a coach, being a coach, requires you to be all in, requires you to be grounded, faithful, have clean energy, so that you can show up fully for your clients, fully for this calling that you're saying yes to. So, right now, as we are experiencing this together, just take it in, take it in, take it in, take it into your heart, take it into your spirit, take it into all of you. This place of knowing. Gorgeous, gorgeous. That was so nice. That was so nice. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Thanks for going there with me and with everybody. So when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and bring yourself back to this place. Bring yourself back to this place in time. We're here together collectively as a group of spiritual coaches, spiritual entrepreneurs, spiritual healers, and guides. I mean, that's what a coach is. All of those things, spiritual leaders. And I use the word spiritual because that's who I am and that's who I attract. That's who I work best with. That's who I design my experiences for. So welcome. Welcome. You're safe here. You're welcome here. Gorgeous. And anytime, if you all are here live and you are seeing that chat spot below the video, you're welcome to comment, ask questions, get full use out of this time. Okay, I'm giving my time to you. You're giving your time to me. It's this beautiful exchange. You are welcome to comment, say hello, ask a question, especially when I get into these topics. Yay, Jessica's here. Hooray. Yeah, it was a great meditation. So glad to have you here, Jessica, and I'm super excited to have you in our next class of coach training school. All right, kids, so let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. What I want you to imagine is that every day you get to wake up at the time that you decide, and you get to design your day to your liking. I was just having a conversation with a client about this right before this webinar. She's been a client of mine off and on for several years. She's been in some of my highest level offerings, and it's so great to watch her journey. And a couple months ago, she was let go from her corporate job. She's been let go from a few corporate jobs, not because she's not a great worker, but I've told her many times, I'm like, girl, it's just the universe has other plans for you. God has other plans for you. And those plans look like they're in the form of doing your own thing, being a guide, being a coach, sharing your wisdom, being a teacher. Okay. And so, what we were working on in our session, and this is really important because we're going to talk about sessions and packages during this training today, it was that she was really struggling with, like, oh my gosh, I get to decide how I form my days. I get to decide where I have lunch and for how long, and when I'm going to do a doctor's appointment. And she actually just booked a trip to go stay with her sister for a week. She had just experienced they had just experienced a loss in their family, a death in their family. And so she was just like taking this in, going, I can't wait. Like, am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to decide for, am I allowed to decide what I want to do with my day? Like, what? She was so used to working in corporate. She was there for over 20 years that she got so used to people telling her what to do, hunting her down during lunch and asking her where she was and when she would be back. And this project came in and she needed to come back to it. Like, she was so used to this that she was kind of letting that go. She was struggling with it, honestly. Like, and I was just saying to her, you're safe. You're allowed to do this. You're allowed to do this. And I shared with her my journey of letting go of that corporate structure. And again, this isn't a knock on the corporate structure. It was just, it's an observation, and it was something I experienced as fact and truth because I worked in that environment for 10 years. And so she revealed on the coaching call, like, wow, Jenny, I've realized during this time and off, and this time spent with this family member who's now since passed, that her top freedom, her top value is freedom. And all of those years spent in an environment that was really not for her totally infringed upon her value of freedom. And I totally got that, because that's what happened for me all those years. Like, I couldn't understand why that structure was so, like, insulting to me. It felt so shackling to me, if you know what I mean. And so, what I want you to imagine, and hey, Nicole, great to have you here. I'm so glad you're here. What I want you to imagine is that you get to decide. You get to decide. I mean, this is really the path of entrepreneurship, and that's what coaching is. When you decide to walk into this path of coaching, really embrace it. Learn what it is. Learn how to understand the personal growth path and the skills and the tools that you'll need, and then embracing what it is to be an entrepreneur and a marketer and a coach. Then you get to design your days to your choosing, based on your desired lifestyle, based on what you want for your family, what you want for your days, what you want for your legacy, what you want for your bank account. Like, all of it is up to you. All of it is up to you. Just take that in, because if you were anything like me, that wasn't the case when you were doing some of what you were doing in the past. Okay? And I know some of your stories, like, you were in this kind of old school structure that just didn't work for you anymore. And, Jessica, who's here right now live, she recently resigned from her corporate position, and she's decided to walk this path as a coach, and has joined as a student in our next class in Get Gutsy Coach Training School, which I'll tell you more about. So just get used to this. Like, for many people, it's unsettling because it feels like almost illegal, because society has tried to put us in this box of what is allowed. Everybody, you go to college, and then you graduate from college, and you get this good job, and you fall in line, and you get insurance with your job, and then you get, your 2 weeks of vacation, or maybe if you're really great, it's 3 weeks, or maybe it's 4 weeks, but you really can't take any more than like 2 weeks off in a row. And if you get 2 weeks off, like, that's pretty big. It's kind of like a week off. Like, that's all you could do. And so a lot of us subscribe to that, and it's not the way that you have to do it. Okay, that's one way, and for many, that's the best way for them, and for you, it's probably not. And that's why you're here, and that's why you want to be a coach, because you're cut from a different cloth, and you want to guide people to find their own answers and to find their own way. So I'm just like you. I totally get it. You heard me share my story a bit. I will say that stepping into coaching has been the biggest ride. It required so much courage, so much determination, and so much of me looking fear in the face and kind of ignoring the ego that was telling me, you can't do this, Jenny. you're not old enough, you're not experienced enough, you look too young. Like, I actually had somebody this weekend, she's like, I thought you were like 23. I'm like, no, I'm 38 and I have 3 kids. She's like, what? Yeah, so just if any of y'all are wondering, I'm 38, I have 3 kids, and I have this business that has generated, our revenues have been, we've crossed the 6-figure mark every year since 2012. I'm really proud of that because I've done it my way. I've done it from my home office. I have built this around the lifestyle that I desire. And I feel like I'm just getting started. Like, I'm still excited about the work because I keep changing, and I really keep up leveling the types of people I work with, the types of clients that I bring on, the programs and courses that I birth. It's just, it's fun. It's really, really fun. And I'm really excited for you, especially those of you who are like just starting to dive into this coaching thing. Like, I'll never forget when I discovered, when I even knew it was a thing in 2008, when I had just quit my corporate job and was really trying to figure out what the heck I was doing next. When I discovered it was like the freaking heavens opened up, and people were singing, and like, I just saw lights everywhere. It was so cool. And so if you're experiencing that right now, like, high five, girl. Like, it's really awesome, and I'm feeling very honored that I get a chance to talk to you right now. So what I want to do is dive into the tutorial here. I want to show you some slides. I'm going to show you some examples to get your head in this whole mindset of how to structure your sessions and packages to get the best results for your clients and grow your business. Again, those of you who are here live, you are welcome to make comments, ask any questions in the chat feature below. If you are watching the replay and you're not watching this live right now, you are welcome to come into our Facebook group if you have questions on the content. If you're not a member of our Facebook group yet, you can come on in, go to gutsygalaxy.com, and you can request admission there, and you're welcome to put your questions or your comments on this training right there in the group, because I'm present there. I'm checking in there every day, and I'm happy to serve you that way. And then if after I share more about me training you, like officially taking you under my wing in Coach Training School, if you have questions about that experience, that certification program, ask them here if you're with us live, or send a note to the team and we will totally get back to you. We want to support you in making this decision, the next step really on your journey, and for you fulfilling your destiny, because that's really what coaching is. It's you fulfilling your destiny. So I am going to share my screen now. Here we go. You should be able to see my screen in a moment. Okay. I think we are good. Present to everybody. Okay, cool. So right now you should be seeing my screen. If you aren't seeing my screen, just comment in the chat below and you can let me know and we'll figure that out. But what you should see is a big subject line at the top that says from prospect to client. Okay, from prospect to client. So let's talk about that, because as a coach, you got to figure out how to get clients, right? It's one thing to be like, I'm so good at what I do. And it's another to have people who are saying yes to having you help them. Okay. So the first step in this, well, really, like, even before we get to a discovery and exploratory session, it's building your kind of message and letting people know you're on the map. All right. So that's an entire element that we cover in Coach Training School, like building the tribe, putting your point of view out there, letting people know who you are and what you're about. Social media is awesome for that. I'm not going to talk about that in this particular training, but just know it's something that I cover in Coach Training School, and those who work with me closely know that this is a big piece of the work that I do. Quick note that if you're not yet signed up for a free challenge I'm hosting starting next week, you should do that. You can go to Get Gutsy Challenge. I'm just typing that into the chat right now, so you have it. But I know a lot of you, I'll do the HTTP. Here it is. Just so you have it there. There's a link for you. So make sure you sign up there, because I'm going to take you through how to be more visible online, how to really get your story out there, your message out there, boost your message, your reach, and your faith. Okay. So I'm always like offering this stuff up to my people. But what I'm sharing with you right now, what we really dive into in coach training school is how like to a specific focus on coaching, okay? Because a lot of people are doing things online and that's really cool. But what you've got to remember is that if you aren't like truly confident and practiced and knowledgeable about coaching, then a lot of these, peeps who are kind of like, talking a lot of talk online, they don't really have anything to sell. And so you can create this gorgeous boutique and have pretty pictures and, a nice Facebook page or a pretty website. But if you don't have anything to sell, then that becomes a challenge. Okay. And eventually you could kind of like fake it and say like, oh yeah, I can help you with something. But over time, you are going to be dealt with some challenging situations because um, that is part of life, and that's definitely part of coaching. You're going to have some highs and lows there. So what I want to help my people with is to help you be like a really, really skillful, knowledgeable, confident coach. All right. So, yay, awesome. Okay, cool, Nicole. So whoever, anonymous 7798, welcome. I'm glad you're here for a couple minutes. Those of you who have to hop off, got here late, you're going to have to leave early. You can definitely catch our replay, so don't stress about that. Okay. So what I want you to kind of get your head around is how do you move from prospect to client? How do you move from prospect to client? All right. So the first step here, again, let's imagine that you're building your tribe, like you're building your following. People know who you are. They're really excited to, know you, and they watch what you're doing. They kind of watch how you're living your life, and you can tell like you're getting some traction. So then people are starting to reach out to you, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I love what you're sharing. Like, I really want your help. I really want to learn from you." Okay. And that's really what coaches do, right? We're helping people. We're letting people kind of be in this sacred container that we're creating so that they can transform, they can move to their next level. So what you can do is you can offer up what are called discovery sessions, exploratory sessions. Some people call them get acquainted sessions. Like you can really call them whatever you want. Typically, these are free sessions, okay? And essentially, you are assessing the prospect's desires and their energy. This is so important because although you may be at a point where you want to work with everybody, you're like, I want to help everybody. Over time, that's not a great idea. I get why you're feeling like that at the beginning because I was the exact same way. But over time, you get really great at assessing someone's desires and energy and ensuring that you are a match. Okay. And if on this exploratory session, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to help this person. They're high energy, they're ready to go, they're ready to move, they're ready to make the commitment and the investment, then you can make the invitation to become a client. Okay. So what I want to show you next, I'm going to minimize this and bring something else open for you. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Okay. What I want to show you now is a tip sheet that we offer to our students in Get Gutsy Coach Training School. Here it is. We give a lot of resources to our students because we want you to succeed. And we know that, there's a lot that you've got to. Okay, cool. You all should be seeing this, this tip sheet. You see here we go. So it says closing the sale through powerful sales and enrollment conversations. Okay. So we give you this tip sheet as well as like a bunch of other resources and the modules and the trainings and calls and just so much within this certification program. And so what I want to just point out a couple things on here is this map of the enrollment conversation. All right. I want you to get this. So you have a prospect who then becomes a lead, okay, who then becomes a client or a customer. All right. So I'm going to take you through, some of the first elements here. The first element I want you to remember when you're selling, because that's what you're doing. You're selling, and there's nothing wrong with selling. Selling is a gorgeous thing. Is that you're going to listen to your potential client with empathy. You're going to listen to them with empathy, and you're going to help them make a decision towards a solution. Towards a solution. Now, sometimes that decision involves them saying yes to the work that you all are going to do together, and sometimes that decision is a no. And either way, it's cool. You know what I mean? What I have learned is that when I've received no's from prospects and leads, sometimes it can feel disappointing, right? Especially when you're really excited to work with them. You're like, oh my gosh, I felt so good about that. But honestly, it's all good. It's all good. I've come to realize that rejection is God's form of protection, and it just wasn't right then. Sometimes they come back around in a few months or a few years when they're more ready to dive in. Okay. And sometimes it just never meant to be. And that's cool too, because when someone says no, they open up space for someone else who's better at that time, more committed at that time to say yes. Okay. So, a couple of phrases that can show empathy and support decision making are things like, I believe in you. I feel that you're ready for something bigger in your life. I want to acknowledge you for showing up today and wanting to move forward. Your commitment to X will take you very far. This is really important to you, isn't it? I can feel your desire for change. Those are just a few ideas. You could come up with your own. All right. The last point I want to make from this tip sheet is this, that all sales can be summed up in 3 words: bridge the gap. Bridge the gap. All right. So there's so much more to go into with this, but I wanted to give you just an overall sense of kind of what this looks like, because you are going to be having sales and enrollment conversations with your people. Okay, with your prospects, with your leads. You get that? And you're going to get comfortable, because that is what is going to be required of you to really grow as a new coach, especially. Okay, as you get deeper into it, if you know my business and you kind of see what I'm doing, then you'll see that the majority of my work and my revenue comes from different types of experiences, not from private client work any longer. I started with private client work, but that is not where I am now. Okay. I have a very, very, very small number of clients I'll work with in a private capacity. Like, we will do individual calls together. I'll do like VIP strategy days with them. But the bulk of the work that I do is within groups and programs and courses, because that's just where I am in my journey. Okay. But I didn't start here. And I'm glad that I didn't start here, because all of the private client work that I did through the years has led me here. I learned so much about human behavior. I learned so much about how women make decisions. I learned so much about the challenges that people face, that my tribe experiences. And then I just turn that into offerings. So I feel like starting with private clients is such a great way, even if it's not where you want to be, in the end, to start there. It's a great way to get money in the door. It's a great way to get experience, and it's a great way to help people. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the slides. How you guys doing? Everyone rocking and rolling? Excited? More excited than scared? I remember when I was contemplating this coaching thing, and then I found the program I was going to sign up for, and I signed up. I was so excited. I was scared shitless. I really was scared. The night before the training began, I was like, couldn't sleep. I said to my husband, oh my gosh, what if I don't like it? What if everyone's a weirdo? What if, and then I'll be back at square zero again. And oh, that'll be so hard. And he was just like, chill out. You're good. You're good. All right. And then, it's been extraordinary. Okay. So another element you're going to get great at is creating your client coach agreement and working out your payment details. I just covered this with my class. They literally, like, just this week, they're graduating from our current group of Get Gutsy Coach Training School. They're amazing women. We started this journey last October, and now we're ending. Okay, it's because it's a 4-month journey. And I was saying to them, just you got to get your policies and procedures in place. It's really, really important. So we cover this in detail in Coach Training School. You don't want to leave anything to just like, well, we talked about it. No, you need to have everything in writing. You need to have your payment details in writing, because life happens and people are human and people flake out and they forget and all these things. So you're running a business. This isn't, a hobby. This is a business. And, that's what I teach people to do from the get-go, is like run it like a business. Okay. So you want to have an agreement in place so people know what to do, for each session, who calls who, what happens if cancellations occur, what does that cancellation window look like, what does your refund policy look like, all those things. What does it look like? Okay. Just get it clear. This is, again, you're running it like a business. So after you've moved through these elements, you're going to have your first session together. I like to call it your initial session. And this is when you are co-creating the vision for the journey ahead. All right. The first session, this initial session, is where you kind of agree, like, here's where we're going. Here's where we're going. It's very exciting. And you are essentially holding space. Now, I will say to you, you don't have to be an expert on everything to coach people on this. All you have to do is be a great listener. Work on your own shit, right? Do your own personal growth work so you're not bringing it into the session, and be a fantastic space holder. Often people say it's like you're a cheerleader for their life. You're excited. You can see it. You help them bust through blocks. On a future webinar, I'm going to talk about some of these skills and tools that you'll need. But I will, let's just imagine that you've got this stuff going on and you've got this initial session. So you're co-creating the vision for the journey ahead. All right. And, everyone's in line. You're like, okay, great. Maybe you've taken some notes. Some people like to type up the notes afterwards. I don't suggest that. I like to have individual files for people. Oftentimes, I will literally have these as like hard copy files where I just will be, because I like to write things. I'm more of a writing person. And so I can stick that into someone's file and then reference it later. I'm also very good at just remembering things. Okay, so there you got the initial session. You're good to go. Then from there, you're going to have the remaining sessions, like in the package. You may have a 3-month package or a 6-month package. And so maybe you're doing weekly sessions, maybe you're doing 3 sessions a month, maybe you're doing 2 sessions a month. Okay. So you have these sessions, you get them scheduled, you can have check-ins and homework between sessions. That is really, really powerful. For instance, today, the client I was telling you about, the homework I gave her was to create her strategic plan for the next quarter. We talked about it, but what I wanted her to do was to lay it down on paper and then send it to me prior to our next session so I can review it and we can discuss on the call. All right. And I will make a note that the coaching sessions that I do, 99% of them are on the phone or online or by Skype or Zoom. I've been using Zoom a lot for my group calls. So you don't have to coach in person. In fact, I don't even suggest that you do. The only time I suggest coaching in person is when you are doing like VIP days, which are like, 3 to 8-hour deep dive sessions with your clients, which we cover in detail in Coach Training School, or when you are hosting retreats, workshops, things like that. Otherwise, totally coach on the phone or by Skype or by Zoom. Okay, got it? And then that means you can coach people all over the world. Isn't that awesome? Like, they don't have to be in your town. You don't have to waste time driving back and forth or like waiting for them to arrive or whatever. Like, this is a huge revelation for a lot of my people. Like, some of my past students in Coach Training School, like, they were massage therapists and they're like, but don't they have to come to my space and don't they have to be local to me? And I say, no, they don't. You will be able to serve so many more people. You'll be able to really rise to your next level on just about every level imaginable when you take in this piece of insight. All right. So this is huge. I'm super excited for you. Like, the person I've worked with as a client who lived the farthest from me, I'm in the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts. My client who lived the farthest from me was in New Zealand. So far, that's been the farthest. I've had clients in Australia as well. I mean, come on. That is so awesome. That's so awesome. And that can totally happen for you. Totally, totally happen for you. So just let that sink in. Let that sink in. You'll give homework. You can also have your clients, and we suggest this to our students. You can have your clients like fill out a brief form before they connect with you for your next call, so that you can kind of go into that call with some clarity about what they want to focus on. So you're not going in blind. I suggest that, and I will offer that up to my clients. So it's like I know exactly what they want to focus on, because the time that you have together goes fast, and you want to make sure that you're fully utilizing it. So those are just some tips and tricks for you to help move from prospect to client. All right, this is cool. All right, let's move on. So I ask you now, this is huge for you, the answer to this question: who do you help? Who do you help? Let's go inward again on this. If you are catching a theme here, it's because I really like going inward. This is where I get my best ideas, honestly, is when I tune out the external, kind of tune out the noise, tune out all of that, and I go inward. I go inward. So I want to guide you through this right now and let you get fully plugged into who you are here to serve. And more importantly, who's looking for you right now? Who's looking for you right now? So, again, as long as you're in a safe space, I invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and come with me on a journey. Come with me on a journey. And on this journey, we are going to a mountain. We're going to a mountain. And so here we are, me and you. We are standing at the base of this mountain. And you're excited and you're a little nervous, but I'm there with you and I'm looking in your eyes and I'm saying to you, okay, gorgeous soul, you're here. You have arrived. And now your work really begins. Now it is time for you to lead your tribe up this mountain. Lead your tribe up this mountain. And trust that as you walk, they will come. Trust that as you walk, they will come. Gorgeous. And here I am. I'm walking with you. I'm like your Sherpa. I'm the one. I'm a few steps ahead of you. And I'm saying, it's cool. Keep coming. Keep coming. Your people are coming with you. Your people are here for you. They're here for you. And they're here for themselves. And they're here because you have something to teach them. You have that message that they are hungry for. They are thirsty for. They are looking for. And as I'm turning around and I'm seeing all those people behind you right now as you are walking this mountain, you are scaling this mountain, you are dealing with some treacherousness and some rocky ways and some paths that look a bit treacherous and dark and a bit scary. I'm saying to you, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're safe. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Your people are with you. They're behind you. They're behind you. They're behind you. They're in your heart and they're behind you. And they are following you because you have the message they need to hear. And so here you are. You're at the top of the mountain. And I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you for walking this way, for talking this way, for saying yes to being a leader, for saying yes to assembling your people, for saying yes to this path of coaching. And so right now, while we are on this journey inward, I invite you to look around at the faces who have assembled around you. Look around at these faces. Look around at their energy. Hear their stories through looking in their eyes. Look at each one of them in the eyes, in their face. Look at them, look at them, look at them, look at them. Love them up. Look at them, look at them, look at them. Love them up. Just look at them. Drink them in. What is it? What is it about these people that makes you their leader? What's the commonality? What's the common link? What is the message they are hungry for from you? What's that message? Deliver it now to them. What is that one thing that you just need them to know? You just want them to know. Share it. Step into it. Share it. Good. This is what you came here to share. These are the people you came to help. This is why you are saying yes to coaching, because coaching allows you to do your destiny. Do your destiny, fulfill your assignment. Gorgeous. So take a mental snapshot with your mind, right? Like get out your iPhone camera, like whatever camera you've got, your Android, whatever camera works for you. Take a picture of these people. These are your people. These are the people you're here to help. I actually encourage you to create a vision board showing these people. Okay, you may open your eyes now, but that's a really cool technique where you create a vision board of your people. It's like, this is who they are. This is what they look like. This is what makes them tick. That can be really, really inspiring. It can pull you forward. Okay, so those are your people. That's who you help. So if you wondered, who is it that I'm here to help? You now know. Okay, this is how we roll. This is how we roll together. All right, good. Jot down any notes from that because that's really, really powerful. When you do visualizations or when you're in the shower and you get ideas, like make sure you capture that stuff because as quickly and as easily it came, that's how quick and easy it can go if you don't capture it. So make sure you're taking notes, okay? And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going now because I want to talk to you about creating deep engagement. Creating deep engagement because that's what it's all about. Deep engagement with your people. One-off sessions are very, very tough to sustain. This is what I teach my students, that sometimes we feel like we want to go for the easy sale and get that one-off session. And I'm not saying that you can't do that. It's just very hard to sustain that model. I feel like that's why a lot of coaches don't make it because they try to go that route. Packages are so much better. I'm give you an example of some of the packages I created many years ago, just to give you a sense of what those could look like. But packages can take many forms. One are VIP days, okay, which I talked about. I did my first ever VIP day in 2011 when I had just moved from New York City to the Berkshires. And yeah, it was like early 2011. And I put it out to my list. I was like, hey, I'm going to start offering these VIP days at my house. And people were pretty pumped. They took me up on this offer. And I was so excited. Like we hung out literally. It was like in my living room. I was very pregnant with my second son. And I feel like the price point was around anywhere from like $1,000 to $1,400, which I was just like doing backflips. I'm like, oh my God, people are paying that money to hang out with me for the day. Just so I like led them through visualizations and I had giant flip chart paper and I walked them through, the next step on their journey and help them conceive of what they were going to be doing next with their career, with their business. And we had so much fun. I took them out to lunch and it was just so amazing. It was so amazing. So VIP days, like super great, super great. Some people will want to invest, they'll want to work with you in that period of time, because they will accomplish more like in that one day than they would if you stretch it out over like 3 months, for instance. You know what I'm saying? So VIP days are awesome. I'm a big fan of those. We teach you, we really dive into those in our training. Which I'll tell you more about in a few moments. Workshops and retreats can be huge. Like you could offer up a workshop in your community, like right now. Just do it. You could find a yoga studio to partner with. I did that a number of times. I partnered with a yoga studio. They promoted it to their students, to their list of yogis because they were really in alignment with me because I'm also a yogi and I am a certified yoga teacher as well. And it was awesome. That's really how I started growing my business. I was just doing these workshops and it would be the same workshop and I would just take it to different yoga studios. And I got clients that way. Okay. Over time, I started offering retreats. So you can do this too. I have a client now who's in my mastermind, which is called Glow, which I adore. I'm leading a 3-day retreat for them next week. And this gal is so cool. She, as soon as our retreat's over, like she's flying off to Costa Rica to lead a retreat for her clients. Okay. She's a yoga teacher and she trains yoga teachers as well. So she's doing this thing of like leading retreats. Those can be really, really impactful. Do you want to be able to do that? Do you want to go to Costa Rica? Do you want to go just a really cool retreat center, like somewhat close to where you live? That's what I did. All of my retreats so far have been held within like 2 hours of where I live. My first ever retreat was called the Retreat for Goddesses. I held that for 3 years. And then I moved into another spiritual business retreat called Alchemy Live. I did that for 2 years. And, next week I'm hosting a private retreat for my Glow Mastermind gals. And that's down the street from where I live at this gorgeous resort spa. It's absolutely fantastic, called Cranwell. So like you can do whatever you want here. You can do whatever you want here. Like it's basically you taking your energy, you taking your message and putting it into a package that your people want, that they'll sign up for and they'll pay for. Okay. Isn't this exciting? Like, are you freaking pumped? I'm pumped for you because this is you designing your dream right here. And then of course, courses and programs provide deep engagement for your people. I've created so many courses through the years. Eventually, just this past December, I finally said, I'm going to put the bulk of those courses under this giant umbrella of a program called Get Gutsy University. Some of you on this webinar right now are in Get Gutsy University. So if you are, what's up, girls? Eventually, we'll open that up to other people. Yeah, great question. Let me look at this. So I'll get to your question in a moment. I love it. Courses and programs are amazing. Okay, my first ever program was called the Inner Mama Mastery Program. At that time, I was a new mom, and I partnered with another new mom, and we offered up this digital program. At the same time, I was leading new mom support groups in New York City, and that was awesome. Like every week, I would host several new mom support groups in New York City, and I really got a sense of like women and what our challenges are. And eventually, I was like, you know what? I want to offer up my unique blend of magic and like my contribution, my offer. I want to give it to people all over the world because I knew I didn't want to be tied down to a specific geographic location. And I feel like I knew that because maybe subconsciously I knew that I was going to move out of New York City. And I eventually did. And so when I moved out of New York and I live in a small town called Great Barrington, Massachusetts, my business grew. We moved in late 2010. And then in 2012, for the first time as a business owner, that's when my business crossed the 6-figure mark. And it's continued to do so since 2012. So courses and programs allow you to touch people all over the world. Okay. You have to learn the whole like online space here in order to do that successfully. But guess what? I've navigated this and this is what I'm going to teach you. Okay. So just stick with me. Let me take this question and then we will continue on. Thanks for this great question. Okay. So I'm not sure what your name is, 6468, but I love your question. So Jenny, did you feel prepared to host VIP days? If you are new at something like this, how do you know where to begin? I am a veteran teacher. I've used curriculum all my life. It's the credibility factor that I worry about as I am new to this. Coaching is my calling. I know it, but where in the world to begin? Any input would be valued. It feels very overwhelming. So exciting for sure. Okay. Awesome. I love this question. Some of my mentors have told me this, and I found it to be true too. And just share your name. I'd love to be able to call you by name, 6468. Just type your name, be like, hey, my name is so and so. Love to know that. So often you won't feel fully prepared for anything that you do. Okay. I didn't feel fully prepared to like become a mother. I didn't feel fully prepared to host my first webinar. Oh, hey, Nicole, what's up? So you do it anyway. You need to do it anyway. You honestly, like, if you can embrace this mantra, do your best and let God do the rest, you'll be in good shape. Like, do your best and let God do the rest. You're a veteran teacher, Nicole. You've used curriculum all your life. I don't care that, maybe you're going to call yourself a coach and that's a new thing for you. You've been doing this all of your life. So, for me, the way I felt prepared to host a VIP day, here's my big insight for you, is I experienced one myself as a client. I paid for one with a top coach. You may know of her. Her name is Fabienne Fredrickson. And I showed up and I experienced the like wow factor of that and how much clarity I got in a short period of time. It was a 1 day session and there were other women involved in it in addition to myself. And then I was like, whoa, I want to offer this for my people too. And I did. So that was my process. Some others may have a different process, but what we do within Coach Training School is we really talk you through the various ideas here on VIP days just to give you a sense of what is possible. Okay. That's why, honestly, I created Coach Training School. I'm going to tell you more about it in a few minutes. But I knew that because I saw something happening, last year when this was kind of bubbling up for me. I saw people online just like, I'll just call myself a coach because I can. There's no kind of legal structure that says you can't just call yourself a coach. Like, you can't just call yourself a doctor. You can't just call yourself a lawyer. You actually have to go through the training for that, pass tests, pass boards, all that kind of thing. There's nothing within the coaching industry that says that. So anyone can call themselves a coach and do so legally. However, what I saw happening last year, especially, kind of came to a head for me was that there were problems were occurring because I would hear people saying, I signed on to work with this coach and then the coach just flaked out on me, or she couldn't handle this, or when the contract was up and I was ready to move on, the coach made me feel like I was a loser or that I couldn't leave. Like, it was just, I kind of felt like there was a lot of this weird energy going into the coaching field because the training wasn't there. It just wasn't there. And that wasn't sitting well with me because I'd gone through such an intense training and certification process myself. And then on the flip side, I saw a lot of women going through like the traditional coach training schools, but yet they don't know how to do the business thing because that's often what's not touched on in depth in these classic coach training schools. So I'm like, okay, you've got all these very qualified coaches and yet they are not making it as coaches. And I just said something has to give, something has to be done. And when you're a leader, you step in and you fill a gap. It was, remember, like we talked a few minutes ago when I was talking about sales conversations, I saw the gap and I was like, okay, I'm going to bridge this gap. And so that's why I did what I did. For you, Nicole, it sounds like you have the background to be amazing at a coach. What I would suggest for you is that you really take your training as a coach seriously so that you don't bring that overwhelm into your client work. You don't bring that lack of like, oh crap, I don't think I really have as strong of a foundation that I would like, because that is not the kind of energy that you want in order to be successful in this field. Because as you all have probably realized, there are a lot of people calling themselves coaches, like a lot. It's really easy. You can go onto Facebook, you get some great pictures, flash yourself up, and get an opt-in and get people on your list and just like have conversations with people, and you can be called a coach. But it's a whole nother thing to be a very nuanced, layered, confident coach who can weather the highs and lows that you're going to experience, not only with your clients, but with yourself and your own journey. Okay. So thank you for that question, Nicole. I hope that gives you some clarity and some insight. I'm super excited for you and I'm really happy to know you. All right. So as you all are getting started, that you new and aspiring coaches, your fastest path to cash and experience when you're new is private clients. Okay. I promised you I would show you an example of my first ever package deal and give you a little bit of texture around this. Okay, so let me open that right now, and then Nicole, I will look at your next comment in a moment. Okay, here we go. Private coaching application. Okay, I was like digging out some stuff for you guys today. It's like, what do I want to show them? All right, let me look at Nicole. Yeah, that I provided training, and for like flops, when can I visit you for my first coach training? You're right. I need that confidence and awesome energy. I know I'm worthy of, and I want to share with the world. Good. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Nicole. Well, check out Coach Training School. Like, really, check it out, girl. Check it out. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to walk you all through it, and you'll see if it's a fit for you. But first, I want to show you this private coaching application. Does that sound good? All right. I love being able to share things with people. At my core, yes, I'm a coach, but really at my core, I am a teacher. I'm a teacher. Okay. And I'm guessing that you all dig that too. I tend to attract that. Okay. So right now you all should be seeing this. Okay. This is straight up from 2012. We're now in 2016. So we're going back in the time machine, Jenny's time machine. The picture that you see at the top, these are like my first professional photos that I had taken when I was a newbie coach. And so what I did was I created this private coaching program. It was called Live Your Dream Private Coaching Program. Fiery focus and clear confidence to move forward. All right. So you see like my little banner at the top. Here you go. I had a website that I was bringing people to, but I also then was just saying, okay, like when people opted in, I would send them this to review. Because I started growing my list in July of 2009. I really started growing my list. I started my business in early 2008. Okay, so that gives you a sense of the journey. If I had to do anything over, it would be to start growing my list earlier and make that more of a priority. All right, so just learn from me. So what I did was I just kind of gave an overview like, hey, this is who you are, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I'm about. I'm your confidant, I'm your cheerleader, I'm your champion, your connector, your coach all in one. Just kind of like making the case for coaching and for us working together. Okay. And then I moved into program details. That's what I wanted to show you. At that point, I had 3 levels of coaching, really to kind of customize to people's needs and where they were in terms of investment levels. So you can see these 3 levels. I'll just scroll down so you can get more of a sense. And I just came up with like names that resonated with me and I felt like would resonate with my people. The one was called Find Freedom, and they got 1 coaching session with me per month for 6 months. Okay, this was a 6-month package. They got an emergency 10-minute call with me as needed, email support between calls. I had a Journey Up the Chakras program. I was giving them free registration in that. I was giving them 6 months access in this like membership program I had, referrals I would make for them, and I would promote them on my Facebook page. And so this is 2012, number of years ago. It was $397 a month for 6 months, or they could pay in full and save at just a little over $2,000. Okay. I do suggest that you offer pay in full discounts because you will get people who pay in full and you like pay in full because then they're fully committed up front. Okay. Then we moved into the next level. They got 2 sessions per month, a lot of those same elements. And then they also got a complimentary ticket to the Retreat for Goddesses. Remember I told you about that retreat? They got a complimentary ticket there. All right. Those are like the kind of the 2 big differences. So the investment went up, $697 a month or pay in full for 6 months. I'll never forget when one of my clients paid in full for that level. And I was like literally doing backflips. Like her application came through, like she faxed it through. I was still using fax at that time. And I was like, oh my God, like called my dad. I was like, oh my God, it's so great. Paid in full. I literally was like crying, I was like, so great. And I love her. I still love her. I love the work that we did together. And then this highest level, again, a lot of what was at that previous level. The additional thing was they got a VIP strategy day with me. That's huge. They also got a 60-minute like guided visualization call with me. Those are the two different elements there. Pretty much everything else was covered in previous packages. That's what you do when you create packages. You just build. You build. And so the investment for this much higher, right? $14.97 a month for 6, or pay in full for 6 months at 8,000. When you have 3 levels like this, the majority of your people usually go to the middle tier. That's why the 3 levels can be great. Sometimes you create that highest level knowing that not many people will go for it, but when people see it there, they're like, wow, this girl, she's the real deal. And maybe I might not be ready for that top level, but I'll go for the middle. You know what I mean? There's kind of some psychology involved in it. So those were the packages. Again, I kind of just talked about the benefits of coaching. I included some testimonials in here. All right, some quotes that were inspiring. I included my bio on the back, like just full on. And then there was an application for people to work with me to fill out. And so this was the thing that got faxed over when that one particular client was like, yes, I'm in. Okay. I remember, I'll never forget that day, because that day in particular, I was, we have these highs and lows in business. And I remember thinking, is this going to work? Oh my gosh, am I going to have to go back and get a job in corporate? I don't want to do that. And like that came through and I'm like, yes, you just have to have full on faith. Okay. And so again, but something really important, remember we talked about those terms and conditions, getting everything in writing. What do I have here? Terms and conditions. And what do they have to do? They have to sign. They have to sign that. Okay. So glad I got to share that with you. I hope you're excited about all of this awesomeness, because it is awesome. Okay. And thank you for all the questions so far. Thanks for all the comments. Again, anything else that's come up, please. This is our time together. This is my time for you to serve you. And basically just give you this open invitation to say, guess what? You can do this, and you don't have to do this on your own. You don't have to do this by yourself. So what I want to do with you now is to open up the page for Coach Training School. I've led you through a lot of content. We've been going for a bit over an hour now. I'm going to take our remaining time to clue you in on this opportunity that you have. Okay, this opportunity to train with me. Okay, with me. So you're not like, what the heck am I doing? And I'm going to like trying to figure it out by watching some people on Facebook, which was honestly what some people do. You don't have to do that. I don't suggest that you do that. I suggest that you take this seriously from the get-go. All right, so what I'm showing you now is your invitation to be part of this next class of coaches making a difference and a great living. All right. Last year I ran Coach Training School twice. This year it's looking the same way. I know I'm running a class starting in February. I honestly don't know when the next one is. Probably in the fall, but I'm usually that person who has to feel my way into things. It's harder for me to be like, yes, definitely, because guess what? Life happens and sometimes things change. I know for sure we're running this class in February. So if this is calling out to you, if you're like, okay, I'm doing this thing in 2016 and I'm ready to take this seriously and I'm going to take the leap of faith, and yes, I'm scared shitless, but I'm going to do it anyway, then you may be really into what I'm about to share with you. So all of this is at coachtrainingschool.com. I'll type this in below what you're looking at. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm here with you. Just so you know, we are offering early bird enrollment and early bird pricing. Okay. I think you save around $1,000. We'll look when we get to that piece. But early bird closes in 4 days. All right. So if this is something you want to do, I encourage you to really take it in and make that decision. You can still register after the early bird closes. It'll just be at a higher fee. Okay. So This is truly your opportunity to step into your highest calling as you share your coaching gifts with clients you adore. You will be working with clients while you're still in training, and you will learn how to earn a great living from me. I'm an award-winning entrepreneur. I've been doing this since 2008. I'm not new at this. I'm committed, and I'm committed to helping you. It is 100% online learning immersion. You can train to become a coach from anywhere in the world. Okay? Super, super cool. Watch the video. I just give it to you straight. It's a nice little conversation we're going to have together. I want you to read through this page. I'm not going to sit and read it to you. I know that you all can read, but read through, not only because I want you to take it in, but I also want you to just observe how I put the whole thing together, because if you're really going the distance with this coaching world, and I hope that you do, then you'll be putting together pages like this for your courses and programs. And that's what people who train under me, they learn how to do, and they end up going on to do. And nothing gives me more joy and pride than watching you do this. Okay. So I tell my story about how I left my corporate job. I was earning $175,000 a year. Life was pretty good. I didn't have to leave that. It wasn't like I was making no money and I needed to find another way. I was like, no, I had it good. But I had that voice inside that said something needed to change. And so I was willing to make that change. And I didn't know I was going to move into coaching. It eventually found me. Okay. Your destiny tends to creep up on you even when you're trying to avoid it. So you'll hear my story, you'll read my story, and then what I want to show you is just, again, that you've got to commit to learning what coaching is all about. Otherwise, you won't have anything to sell. You're just trying to sell your personality. And that's cool. Your personality will get you pretty far, but I want you to be coaching from a place of integrity and authenticity and authority, because your peeps will be able to spot a fake from a mile away, and that catches up with you after a while. It becomes like it gets hard to maintain. So I'm interested in training those women who are like in it. They're like really in it. They're ready to like dig their heels in and do this thing. Okay. So that's why I created Coach Training School. You can read stories from some of our clients. You see them here. Many of these have gone on to earn their Get Gutsy certified coach designation. So those of you who go through this and you graduate and you take the tests, which are designed for you to succeed and pass, you can earn your Get Gutsy certified coach designation. You can get a badge that you can put on your website. We promote you to our people. You're able to get some visibility within one of my programs, which is called Get Gutsy University. And I want you to, get out there and succeed. Okay. So let me just tell you about our curriculum. The Coach Training School begins on February 9th. It lasts for 4 glorious months. All right. We're going deep. It's going to be awesome. Just imagine by the time summer rolls around here in North America, like, boom, you've done it. You will be graduating from Coach Training School. You will be confident and be well on your way. And you will be coaching during this training. We're going to touch on 3 golden keys. The first is your coach's path. This is your calling. This is your opportunity. We're going to look at your fears and doubts. We're going to look at bringing an end to tolerations. We're going to look at your unique gifts and your credentials and your experience. Okay, I'm going to teach you about visualization for yourself and for your clients. We're going to look at developing a solid foundation for your brand. Then we're going to move into golden key number 2, which are skills and tools every transformational coach must master. You do not have to have all the answers for your clients. In fact, it's not necessary. All you've got to do is be able to hold space and ask empowering questions. You're going to help your clients redefine their relationship with their inner critic, because let me tell you, that is typically the thing that holds us all back, is our inner critic. You're going to hone your skills. You're going to listen. You're going to learn to listen and reframe and hold your clients accountable. Help them bottom line, forward the action, inspire them, and move through energetic blocks. We're going to look at victim and vampire energy, how to handle nightmare clients, how to leverage tools that are mentioned in my book, Get Gutsy. If you haven't read that yet, that will be one of your assignments in Coach Training School. And I'm going to talk to you about boundaries and policies and procedures. Super, super important. The final golden key will be making a great living as a coach and a marketer and an entrepreneur. This is crucial. You cannot skip this step, because if you do, you won't make it as a coach. You just won't. So we're going to look at embracing your unique vibe. And this is what will attract your tribe, coaching your first client, telling your story, announcing your business, looking at a content creation schedule. This is really important. How to hold space between sessions. We're going to dig in on those enrollment conversations, how to onboard clients, how to decide if email coaching is worth it, how to get systems and technology set up in your business. We're going to look at retreats and workshops, VIP days, and online courses. Okay, we're going to cover a lot. And how it breaks down is this: weekly training lessons. All right. Every week, these will be delivered to you. We also have like pause weeks built in so you don't get overwhelmed. Okay. Along with these training lessons, you're going to get worksheets that walk you through step by step. And you're going to be encouraged to share externally your assignments. This is what's going to really get juicy. This is how you're going to start attracting in clients, attracting in your tribe. We'll have live group Q&A calls and coaching demos throughout the training. You're going to get a ton of resources and tip sheets and samples that you can just refer to and use. You will be paired with a peer coach and peer client if you desire to be paired with one. And I suggest that you do, because then you'll get a lot of practice and experience with coaching. Okay. We will have a forum where you can connect with your fellow students. And of course, you do have that opportunity to become a Get Gutsy certified coach. Right now, let's see, I want to say we have 5 Get Gutsy certified coaches. And I think we've had about like 15 so far who've gone through this training all of last year. Maybe it's like 17. I don't know. I've lost count. But I believe we have about 5 who've gone on to earn their Get Gutsy certified coach designation. More on the way because we're just about to graduate our current class. And so they will be qualified to go in and go for their Get Gutsy certified coach designation. And that certified coach designation means that, again, you get this badge. You can become part of my referral network. And you will be considered for visibility opportunities within my community to further hone your coaching and business building schools. You get some great bonuses. Let me quickly tell you about those. You'll get membership into Get Gutsy University. Tons of courses in there that you can reference. If you're already a member of Get Gutsy University, you do receive 20% off of your tuition in Coach Training School, just to give you a heads up on that, okay? Because you've invested in Get Gutsy University, we're going to give you 20% off your tuition. All right. You will get a spot in a live coaching masterclass, which will be held this year. Okay. And our class that is graduating right now in January, they're going to be invited to the same coaching masterclass. So we're going to combine the 2 classes and have you all learn from each other. Okay. And once this date gets set, we will let you know, but it's going to be really awesome. It'll be here in the Berkshires and it will be warm. That's what I want. Like, I want to bring you guys there when it's warm. All right. The first 10 to apply and get accepted get 2 amazing bonuses. One, you get a private coaching call with me, where I'm going to help you nail your message, your marketing, and your systems. Huge, huge, huge. And then this other one, which I'm so pumped to offer this, is I'm going to interview you on my podcast, Get Gutsy. All right. I'm going to feature you. We have listeners in more than 25 countries and counting. I actually think we're up to 40 countries now, my last count. Yeah, it's growing. And I'm going to feature you. I want to do this for you. I want to help you launch. This gives me extreme pleasure as a coach and a leader. So the first 10 of you to apply and get accepted, those bonuses will be yours. All right. So those should scare you a little bit, but also make you really excited. All right. So a bunch of videos you can watch from our students, past clients, just kind of take it all in. I answer questions there. You can scroll through that. Let me talk you through the application process. And then if you have any questions on this webinar, I'll answer them. Otherwise, we will, bring an end to our time together today. And I'll thank you for showing up. So here's how you apply. It is filled by application. You click the apply button and you submit a deposit of $500. Then you're going to go to a brief questionnaire, fill that out. It's very, very simple, but again, it just lets me know your energy and why you want to do this. If you'd like to have a private phone call with someone from my team to ask any questions that aren't answered on the page, totally you can do that. You can just designate that on your questionnaire, on your application, and we will set that up. You'll get notice from us regarding your acceptance within 3 business days. If you're not approved, if your application isn't approved for any reason, your deposit will be fully refunded, of course. Okay. So that's the deal on the application, and the investment is as follows. Before I tell you what it is, when you secure 2 to 4 paying clients to invest in a coaching package with you, your training will be paid for. Okay. And you will have this knowledge forever. And that bonus of Get Gutsy University, I will say that we do monthly coaching calls in there. And as long as Get Gutsy University is running, you get access to those calls. So even after you graduate from our 4 months of coach training school, you're still going to get support from me and this community. All right. So that's pretty unique offering. And I'm super excited to do it for you because I know that you need it. I know that you need it, and I'm here to give you what you need. So everything that we talked about is included. You can see it there laid out. The value is huge. And the early bird investment for Coach Training School to go through this coach certification is $3,997. All right. The full pay is $4,997 once early bird is over. But right now we're still in the early bird enrollment window that goes until January 25th. So that's our pay in full option. It is the best deal. But of course, we do offer a payment plan. It's a very generous payment plan over a year. Okay. Even though it's a 4-month training, we're like, no, you can pay over a year. Like, we want to help you here. We want to help make this possible for you. $500 deposit plus 12 monthly payments of $341. Once early bird is over, those payments are $424. Okay. Again, if you are a Get Gutsy University member, you're enrolled in that, then you get 20% off of this tuition price, and you'll be able to note that on your application, and we will apply your discount. Okay. So that's Coach Training School for you. I'm so excited to offer this up. I'm going to just come back and stop sharing my screen so we can just end this baby together. This gives me so much pleasure. Like yesterday, honestly, I held the last ever group call for my current group of students in Coach Training School. I've seen what they've done. I've seen the evolutions that they've gone through. I mean, they've gone through some major stuff, and I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them. Like, this is, who I am as a teacher, as a coach, is helping my tribe step into your calling. That's what it is. And if your calling is coaching, if you feel like 2016 is your year and you're ready to do this, then I'm ready to help you. I'm ready to help you. It starts with you making a decision. And that decision always will require an investment of something, an investment of time, of money, of energy, of you walking through fear and moving into your destiny. Like, that is straight up what it is. And guess what? Your clients are going to have to do the same thing. And so what I always say to my people is, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, who will be? So whether it's investing in Coach Training School, or whether it's investing in something else this year to grow your business, to cash in on your calling, to move forward into your destiny, you must be willing to do so. Anytime I do it, I'm scared. There's that ego, that inner critic inside me that's like, oh my God, it's like, and I simply decide to trust the inner voice, that wise inner voice that I talk about in my book, Get Gutsy, that we talk about in all the interviews on my podcast, Get Gutsy. This is really walking your spiritual path and trusting that, I do use the word God. If you don't like that word, you can just substitute another word in. But, if God has brought you this far, he's not going to leave you here. He's not going to forsake you. If you feel like Coach Training School is your next step, then trust that. If you feel that it's something different, then trust that. We always have to trust that. And I find that we so often talk ourselves out of things because it's just the fear talking, and we're trying to override the truth, And sometimes the truth can feel crazy. It's like, what? Please don't make me do this. I don't want to have to do this. That's exactly how I felt when I was quitting my corporate job. I tried to talk myself out of that for years. I'm like, please let it be anything but this. I did not want to have to do it at all. And then I finally surrendered into it. I finally just said, okay, I don't really know where you're taking me. I don't understand what this is all about. This is going to be really uncomfortable. I feel like my boss is going to kill me. And I'm going to have to walk away from like really nice paycheck every 2 weeks and huge bonus checks. I have to walk away from that. I don't even know what I'm walking into because I hadn't even discovered coaching yet. Okay. You gals have discovered coaching. I hadn't even discovered it yet. And I just trusted it. So that's my insight for you into whatever it is that you decide to do in 2016. Trust it. It's going to feel crazy at times. You're going to have critics and naysayers and doubters, and often they're in your head, and sometimes they're external as well. And what I can say is just come back to that spiritual practice, trust that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and I invite you to walk through whatever fire is right in front of you. And if it is Get Gutsy Coach Training School, if I get a chance to work with you up close and personal, it would be my distinct honor and privilege and pleasure. So if you have any questions for me, ask them. Again, you can come to gutsygalaxy.com, join our community if you're not yet there. We would love to have you there. I'd love to get to know you there. And then, of course, coachtrainingschool.com is for you. Review it and apply. And if you have any questions after we end this, feel free to reach out to the team. We are available on email. We are available on phone. You can email us, support@jennyfennig.com, and our phone number, 1-877-529-2098. And I will type them in, and then I see Jessica with a question, who is going to be joining us in Coach Training School, and I'm super excited. And I'm just putting our phone number in so you guys have it, 1-877-529. You all are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to answer Jessica's question. If there's any others, just let me know. Okay, what's the first thing you recommend for us in starting our coaching practice? Where would you begin? Jessica, start by building your tribe. Start by putting yourself out there just like you're doing. I see you online. You're doing great. I want you to get people to know who you are, put out solid content, aim to serve, connect with people in groups, and I want you to start building your list. I really want you to start building your list. So that's a great question, you guys. Like, remember what I said? I started my business in 2008. The landscape was very different back then. My first newsletter, my first email to my list went out in July of 2009. At that point, I had my first son in January of that year. And I'm like, okay, I launched my website. I started my newsletter, and I started growing my list. That was July of 2009, right? And we're in 2016, my list. And again, I have not given like a lot of as much energy to this as I could have, but my list now is at just over 6,000 people, and we clean it out. We let people go who don't open emails over time. Like, I'm not interested in just having inflated numbers of people who don't engage. So we've released like thousands of people over time, and then people opt out, but we're at just over 6,000. And, you know, having a list is fantastic because then you have people who are interested in what you have to say. Having people on Facebook who want to hear from you is great, but your list is your gold. So I'm going to suggest that, Jessica, we're going to cover this in Coach Training School, but you're asking a great question now for everyone who's with us or listen to the recording. Look around, ask around for some recommendations for CRM platforms, customer relationship management platforms, and sign up for one. They can be, some of them are free, some of them are really, really inexpensive. And there's a lot of different ideas out there. What's great, the one I use, none of you all should use it right now if you're new, because it's very complex and it's pricey. I'm using it because I'm at this particular level, but go with something like a MailChimp or a Mad Mimi. Ontraport apparently has a lower level offering now. What was the one I just heard about? I'm blanking on it now. But there's so many that are like really powerful that people, like, there's just so many more that are coming onto the scene because there's a lot of people in the online space, right? So grow your freaking list, Jessica, and get an opt-in. Get an opt-in, everybody. Create some kind of, like, you guys have seen that I have a bunch of different opt-ins. Let me give you some links in the chat so you can go check out some of these. You can see what these look like. Let's see what I want to give to you. I've got, here's one. There's this jennyfennig.com / if you haven't signed up for these, go ahead and do it. So you can get, I think that's one puzzle. I'm just off the top of my head. Jenny's moving and grooving here. You can see, let's see, that's Gutsy Coach. Trying to remember some others, kids. Well, I'll put Gutsy Galaxy because it's just this other one. I have a free Facebook group and I created a page for it. All right. So those are all like real links. Like, those are opt-ins. And so people are opting into my list to get that goodness. Get that juicy goodness. Here's one more. These are just various ideas for you. Don't get overwhelmed with like how many I have. It's just I want to give you ideas. I want to give you something to sink your teeth into, Jessica, because I can already tell you're going to be an amazing student. Yeah, gals, Jessica is one of our students in this next class, and she's so great. And so I'm sure you would enjoy being a fellow student with her if you guys were like, I wonder who would be in this with me. And check out some of our other students on coachtrainingschool.com. You can just get a sense of the types of women who have gone through this. And they're all just very just amazing women. They believe that anything's possible. They show up, they're kind, they're generous, they are in it for the long haul, they are spiritually inclined, they believe that we're all here for a reason. So, and then they want to help. Like, we're all helpers. That's what coaches are. Like, we're here to help. We're here to help. We're here to help heal the world in the way that only we can. So that's really what coaching is all about. Okay. So thanks, you guys. This has been awesome. I've loved connecting with you. We have more webinars coming up. If you're signed up for this series, which you are if you're here, then we've got more webinars coming up. I know we've got one, I think, next Friday, January 29th. Yep. And then we're going to do one on Tuesday, February 2nd. That's a reschedule from our little tech glitch that we had last week, which was just a crazy bamboozle of a thing. And then we start Coach Training School on Tuesday, February 9th. So we are rocking and rolling, kids. We are rocking and rolling. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being here. Gutsy Coaches Unite. You are amazing. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to get to know you more, whether it be in Coach Training School. Again, sign up for our free Get Gutsy Challenge, because that's going to start next week. Just really get a taste of what this world is all about, what I'm doing, because this is the stuff that you can be doing in your work, and you're going to be amazing at it. And it would be awesome to be able to really take you under my wing. That's when I can help you the most. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I love you all. And keep believing. Keep believing in what you're here to do. Bye now. Bye-bye.